Hello, it's Mary with a passion for paper. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing part 2 of a craft with me using Odulcina's kit called the Starter Dreamy Kit. And if you check out the link below, I'll put part 1, and that was looking at ephemera. Here was a piece. Here was a piece. I put this one on the cover. And so basically I made the ephemera, showed you that, and then we started putting together pages in this journal. So off camera, I created this cover, which I'm really excited about, and I will probably add some more to it, but so far I'm loving it. We have vintage lace, a little bit of avocado dyed sari silk, a little flower here. And this is one of the ephemera pieces that I sewed onto the front cover. And when you open it up, you can see this beautiful page from the kit. And I do have some lovely messy threads on the inside, some gorgeous laces here, and that's one of the cards from the Starter Dreamy Kit. And then the very first page here, I added this pocket, which is another piece of the ephemera that I showed in my previous video. This is a new piece of ephemera, a journal card that I sewed a beautiful coffee dyed backing onto. This is from the kit. I just tucked that in there and sewed around here to make this a pocket. We have this brown craft paper, lots of messy threads here. And these are the papers that I did put together in the last video, where I'm just, pulling together some vintage French English dictionary. This is a page from a cahier, handwritten notes in French. Vintage, has these beautiful squares on it. I love the French paper with the little squares. And then I just started kind of placing some of the ephemera that we looked at together. I just started placing it in pages around the journal. So here's, for example, this 2-page spread, and I have more pieces of ephemera around me. I'm going to just, craft along and add more. I just recently bought these bottles. They came in a little kit, and it was just the bottle itself, and then I poured the art glitter glue into the bottle, and so far I've been very happy with them. Because my original art glitter glue bottle, you can see it's been through the mill here, but it's just, I keep putting the pin in it and then it gets stuck and it's just not working as well. So it keeps getting clogged. I said, it's time to get some new bottles. So I've been enjoying these. I will try to remember to link them below. And I am putting the art glitter glue into those bottles. So here's another piece of ephemera, beautiful image from the kit. Love how these came out. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just, clipping a few of them in, turning some of them into tucks, adding some to some different pages where it looks like they will go together nicely. Now I think this one, I also love it when they hang off a little bit and you can see it on this side, so we get some more fun edges. And I think I'm gonna actually glue, will I? Maybe glue that on there and then leave it overhang a bit, and then I can have that be an up tuck. So let's go ahead and use my new glue bottle. These cute little caps came with. And then what I was doing is just putting some glue onto a scratch piece of paper to make sure that I'm getting it out right, because it was getting a little stuck. There, see, I think I did have a bit at the end, so I will go ahead and get rid of that. So I am going to try to line this up. Now I love the messy threads, but I do want the ones from the back to be trimmed off, and then That way it'll just make it neater when I'm gluing it down and not have to worry about any of that. Okay, so I like maybe I'll leave the bottom ones hanging. Okay, so what I want to do is have it just hang over a little bit, but not too much. And then on this side, I'll just rotate it a little bit like that. And I think that is gonna be really good. Okay, so I'm eyeballing it. And then I'm going to just add in my glue. And try to leave the bottom part open. So there we go. And that way I can tuck something up in there, a little ticket or something. These are also images from the starter kit. A couple things like that up in here. And just really press that down. Okay, and then this one, I think I might just do a paper clip. I have these lovely little Tim Holtz paper clips, and that way we can keep this one. I do love to have it sticking out just a little bit. I think that's so nice to have all those edges. And I'm gonna see if I can get this clip on. There we go. And I love those pink roses. I think they're so pretty. And again, this is my design team project for Odulcina using the Starter Dreamy Kit, which is available in her Etsy shop. Here's this beautiful piano roll paper. And I do have that on my list. I'm planning to make a video on how to get that to lay flat. And I actually been assembling my items for that video. This is Mighty Blue. This is copyrighted 1925. And that is the piano roll paper is in here. And as you can see, it does come on these rolls. And so I'm just gonna do a real quick tutorial on how to get this to lie flat, so you can turn it into a nice page just like this to put in a journal. And that will be coming soon. Okay, then we have some vintage French book page, and love the lace. Oh, this is cute. Now I think what I was gonna do here is glue this, and what it is just something that sits over the page like that. And this has beautiful embossing on it. And this is from the kit. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue the edges here. So this will hold some of those adorable little ephemera pieces. And just go like that. And then look at how cute these are. I love the small size. There's, and I just inked up the backs a little to make them look more vintage. And there are some in a slightly larger size as well. Here's the larger one, just to get an idea. This one, I think I double-sided. So I'm just gonna put those in this cute little pocket. And then I just wanna put this over the top of this page so you can kind of see it here. And then I'll probably do something else down there, but I really like how that looks. Here's another cute little piece of ephemera. It's adorable little bonnet that's from the kit. And I think I will do this as a tuck. So this side, and do want to just trim the inside of these so when I tuck something in there it won't get stuck in those. And we'll just go right across here as well. And that way we have a nice L-shaped tuck. And as you can see, I am purposely trying to overhang that a bit. Now, where did my my glue page is back here, stuck into my other page. Here we go. Okay, and I have not bound these pages yet, so that's another benefit, is I can move it to the side if need be to let things dry, and or to take things if I decide I want a little sewing. But that's so adorable. Yeah, very cute. It goes perfect with this page. This is the page from the kit as well. And I just kind of took a little walk through the journal and put things where I thought they might look good, and kind of get started with some of the inside work here. And so we have that, another vintage book page. Okay, so I see this is a little too thick to go in here. I love these little charms that I made with these Eiffel Towers. These are so cute, these little charms. I got them from Amazon, a whole box of them. And I just added them with this lace and the little card onto this bold pin. But now I can see that it is too bulky. So I'll either let it hang out or put it somewhere on the outside as opposed to somewhere on the inside. But we can just take it off of there because it is so charming. I do really like it. A couple pieces of lace, but it's just too thick to come in here. But this will work just fine. And I can even put, might be too busy up here, down below. Oh, I kind of like it like that. We could almost do a tuck and put something in here. Let's see what's going on in the back. So this is the messy threads. Okay. I was gonna say I could even fold these back. It's a little unwieldy. Maybe something like that would be fun. If we stuck it onto the page kind of like that, those tabs. And then when we turn the page, a little something there and there. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this down. We'll have another little tuck here. And for this one, we'll do there and there. Make sure these are open so I can get my glue in there. And then, oh, I think I might have gone a little too far down. Just gonna take some of that off, come across here. Something here. I was going to show you these adorable little Rolodex cards. I did a huge, massive coffee dye earlier this week, and I got out my vintage Rolodex cards. I do have 2 sizes, and I made these little kits. They're available in my Etsy shop. I love these lightly grungy Rolodex cards. They're unlined. Just beautiful patterns. I did a couple with the plastic tablecloths, and some are more, you know, plain. Some have more marks on them, but these are just so handy to just tuck in little places as an extra. So I batched these up into little sets of 10, tied them up with some pretty lace, and popped them in my Etsy shop. So go ahead and check that out. I will link them below and get those little cards sent to you. I'm just going to use these since I have them here, and they're just fun little additions to put. You can stamp on them, you could glue things on them. Like this would be so cute just to take one of these and, you know, glue a little image, maybe put a little lace, make a little something. So yeah, I love having those at the ready. Charming, sweet little girl. That's also from the kit. Beautiful image. This I showed you in my previous video. Piece of ephemera that I made with this cheesecloth pocket on a vintage French book page. And then I'm going to put something in here. In fact, let's take a look and see. I also have these larger size Rolodex cards, which I think are really fun. Let's see if I could put one of these in here. I'm not sure if it will fit, but let's take a look. This is a floating pocket. Yes, this will fit in there. Awesome. Okay, so we could actually fit a couple in there, it looks like. So maybe I will pick a darker one and a lighter one. So we'll have 2. And that's gonna be fun. Oh yeah, I love that. Okay. And so this, I think I will just clip. Oh, actually, I want to use one of these bowl clips. I love having these in the journal. They look so pretty sticking out the side. So I'll just take that page and clip that on there. And it looks nice to have the Lashy and the dog. I've been practicing my French on Duolingo, so I'm getting better at spotting words. It's just a little bit of white here. Just gonna go ahead and, this is Vintage Photo. This is a lovely page from the Starter Dreamy Kit. Such pretty birds and a little French invoice. And then we have some music page and beautiful coffee dyed paper. This is original ledger paper. It says 1930 there. Beautiful, soft, creamy feel to it. And some writing paper here. I love the fringiness of that from the kit. Oh, and this is lovely. Okay, so here's something, another piece of ephemera, and this basically, which I showed to you in the last video, lovely image, a little French book page, some vintage lace, and it's just printed out. This is coffee dyed artist paper, so it's a little thicker. It's like a mixed media paper. And I have some sewing there, and I just was going to go ahead and fold that over the top, so it's a bit of a flip up. And then this will be here, and you can flip it up. And then on this side, I was going to put this on it because I think this was so pretty. Just breaking up this piece here, and maybe hanging down a little. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that on. And I do want to hang it down, so I will not put glue on the bottom. We'll just put glue on the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and center that. And again, I have my little glue paper, avoid the excess. Such a charming little image there with the shoes. Love it. Okay, and that's going to just go here. And then we have, that's like an extra large cluster, topper, whatever you want to call it. I think it's so pretty. And another beautiful page from the kit. Lovely grungy coffee dyed lined paper. This is a copy of a French invoice from my stash, and I just roughed up the edges a bit to make it look a little older. It's coffee and tea dyed. Another page from my stash that I have roughed up to look a little bit older. Beautiful lace page, coffee and tea dyed, so pretty. Page from the kit. And another one of these beautiful pins. Now, as I realized, this is the first time I tried putting them in a journal, and I could just see that it was, they're a little sharp, a little pointy, a little bit too thick. Even though they're tiny, they're just not going to work out in the middle of the journal. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And this is a beautiful image from the kit, and I made a little piece of ephemera here. I love this coffee dyed image on the back, and what I did was put this very small little hidden spot for just like a very sweet little treasured thought, and I wanted to just leave that as a little hidden spot. And then see if I could put this, I think I want to actually, maybe I could put this at the bottom, and I like the idea of putting it here. Make sure I don't have anything extra there. And okay, there we go. Another beautiful page from the kit, and I love how it looks with the coffee and tea dyed papers there. This, I love this lace. It's so pretty, and I just wanted to use it in here, so I did set that in here. Now I could do a side pocket, I could do a belly band, I could do something over here. And I have this beautiful card to tuck in there. That I think looks fabulous. So let's go ahead and lay this in there. And let's see, I think I'm going to put it here. So I want this, this, and this. Okay. And again, lace is so tricky to get your glue. I try to put it on the heavier parts of the, let's see if I can get some across there, enough to get it to stick down without getting too messy. It's always the challenge. So I'm just going to kind of come down here. Now this is wonderful because then you have more of a spot to put it on. I know it's a little long there. We'll see if I can smooth that out. And I'm also not squeezing, and I'm just rubbing the tip to kind of smush that in a bit and see if that will help spread it around just enough to adhere. Let's see if we can get that in. Now, I am going to put something underneath that because I do not want that soaking through. Okay, so this is what happens when you don't measure, because I put the glue a little too far down. Let's see if I can get that glued in. And then I am going to just add some glue here, and then I'm going to cut it off once that dries. It's such pretty lace. I got a couple of vintage laces from Gisela at Lavish Laces. I love the vintage grab bag and also some individually purchased ones. So I'm just going to go ahead and clip this off. There we go. And tuck this in there. I think that's going to be so pretty. This is from the kit as well, Starter Dreamy Kit. And this is my glue page that comes out. And just a beautiful tissue paper that's been coffee dyed, very faint staining there. Beautiful patina on this vintage music sheet. Love this page. Sewing pattern paper, French vintage book page with some stamping there, and then the inside spread. And this was a card I had made previously from Odulcina, one of her kits, and then a little writing booklet with coffee and tea-dyed papers. So those just slip right in there, and I love this little pocket with the embossed design on it. Hopefully you can kind of see that. And it's already getting chunky. Look, we've already gotten through the first half of this journal. Just so much fun. Now we have to add some more ephemera to the second half, but I think this is a good stopping point. I am going to go out and run some errands with my daughter, so I hope you enjoyed crafting a bit with me, and I hope you'll come back and craft some more real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.